and thank you for your interest in Huron University's Licentiate in Theology program. My name is Dr. Bowcott, and I'm the Program Director of the LTH program, and it is a pleasure to be part of a program that is connecting leaders and learners across our Canadian landscape. Sorry that I was unable to attend the Theology open house today, but I hope with this short little video I can share a little bit of the good work and the exciting developments of our program, and that our Dean, Dr. Dan Smith, can answer any questions that you may have. Firstly, thank you for exploring what is becoming the fastest growing program in the country when it comes to theological education. The Licentiate in Theology program is a pre-degree program that helps to equip and enable licensed lay readers, parish wardens and administrators, deacons, and in many places, priests for specialized ministry, cap priests, or locally raised priests, as we're calling them at different places across the country. Our courses are designed to remove the barriers that prevent students from accessing theological education. Those barriers, first and foremost, may be geography. It's often a challenge for students to be able to uproot their lives and move to a seminary and to complete a program in 2 or 3 years. So we bring our courses right to you. Most of our courses take place outside of a normal 9 to 5 working week, and our courses are hosted in the evenings on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and often with intensives on Saturdays. Our courses are shorter than normal theological courses in a degree program. They're usually 8 weeks in length and consist of about 16 hours of content with the professor or the instructor for class content time. Our courses usually look like this. They may be hosted on Tuesday nights, so 2 hours a week for 8 weeks in a row, or they could look like this, 2 Saturdays where the students come together starting at 10:30 in the morning and concluding around 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. Our courses put together a licentiate diploma, which is the equivalent of a college level diploma, and it requires 16 credits to complete the entire LTH diploma. Within those 16 credits, there's a lot of flexibility for students to explore courses that are of their particular interest, or might be part of a shopping list that a bishop is asking for in terms of preparing oneself for ordination in the Anglican Church of Canada. We do have core courses within our program. Each student that wants to complete the full LTH diploma needs to finish 2 courses in church history, 2 courses in systematic theology, and 2 courses in biblical studies. And those regular core courses are offered on a regular basis. Now, part of the exciting thing about our program is that we've created a network of leaders and learners across the country. To date, we've had participants in all of the 30 dioceses and territory of the Anglican Church of Canada, and we continue to grow in our partnerships working with denominational leaders. What this means is many bishops connect with us with students that they're identifying as future postulants. Those students may have a list of courses that they're exploring to be a deacon or a priest for specialized ministry, and we've prepared some micro-credentials to be able to share with their bishops and their denominational leaders that they have the courses that they need as a proper foundation for ordination. Allow me to speak a little bit about our micro-credentials, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the wider program. We have 3 certificates that are part of the LTH program. The first is the Parish Administration and Leadership Certificate. This certificate is ideally offered for parish wardens, administrators, and treasurers, and it consists of 3 courses. The 3 courses are Parish Administration 101, the second course is Congregational Growth and Evangelism, and the third course is Spiritual Development and Formation. These 3 courses are hosted over 3 Saturdays, beginning in April, May, and June. And it's the first Saturday of each of those months, April, May, and June. And the students come together with a full day intensive course that will start at about 10:30 in the morning and go to about 3:30 or 4:30. Upon completion of each of those Saturdays, 1 parish administration, 1 congregational growth and evangelism, and 1 spiritual formation and development, After finishing the 3 courses, the student will be issued a certificate in parish administration and leadership from Huron's Faculty of Theology. Each of those courses can also be upgraded so that the students can transfer those credits towards the full Licentiate in Theology diploma if that's their wish. And whenever a student does an upgrade, they have additional readings and assignments that they'll have to submit for numeric marking. The second certificate that we have is the Certificate in Foundations in Diaconal Ministry. And this expands the courses that students are exploring. It includes courses that are in the Old Testament and New Testament. It includes a course in pastoral care, a course in liturgy, a course in spiritual formation, a course in preaching, because that's really important, and a course in liturgics. Upon completing all of the courses in that micro-credential, the student is then issued a certificate for diaconal foundations. And this certificate, this grouping of courses, has become kind of the gold standard for bishops across the country. Most bishops with the transcript showing that the student has completed that work may check off the box for the theological studies part of the postulancy process. Now let me say a little bit of word about priests for specialized ministry. Without priests for specialized ministry, which are priests that are locally raised up in communities across the country, many of these priests working in a non-stipendiary nature, without these leaders, we would be closing churches all across Canada. It is a joy to have these leaders, many of whom are bivocational, stepping into this ministry, and it's providing hope and new life for congregations in Canada. Our program, the Licentiate in Theology program, has become, again, the gold standard for equipping priests for specialized ministry or locally raised priests. As I shared, there are the 6 core courses and then 10 other elective credits that you take to complete the program. Now, every place of ministry is slightly different in the Canadian landscape, and bishops in different dioceses often give me, as the program director, a list of courses that they would like their students to focus on. Some bishops might be a little bit more focused towards congregational growth and evangelism, others towards pastoral care, but regardless of the requests, our program is able to meet all of those needs. And it's been a joy to partner with different bishops to help equip their future leaders for both ordination, but also graduation here at Huron University. One other thing that I'll share that is quite exciting about our program is that we've worked hard to have our Licentiate Theology program become a stepping stone into the degree programs in the Faculty of Theology at Huron. We have an advanced standing arrangement where students can take courses within the LTH, and a select number of those credits can be applied towards a degree program if the student has a high enough average, and that if this arrangement is approved on a case-by-case basis by the Dean of Theology. This allows students to kind of explore theological education for their first couple of steps in the LTH program to see if they enjoy being a student, to see if they fall in love with their instructors and the topics that they study, and if they are really keen, or if they feel like their diocese is wanting them to have a full degree, then they can continue on with courses in our Masters of Theological Studies program or our Master of Divinity program at Huron. It is a joy that we are now able to offer those classes virtually, and we have contextual theological studies students across the country that are joining in. Let me say a few words about how we are trying to remove barriers. We have different financial arrangements with different partners across the Canadian Church. In some dioceses, the diocese has entered into a subscription status with our program, and therefore there's no tuition paid by the individual student. One such example of this is the agreement that we have with the Anglican Council of the North. We have partnered with the Diocese of Brandon and all of the dioceses and territory of the Council of the North with supporting finances from the Anglican Foundation of Canada to remove the tuition costs for any student in the Anglican Council of the North. The Council of the North students have their own registrar, who is the Executive Archdeacon of the Diocese of Brandon, the Venerable Cheryl Kukuritz. And students can email Cheryl, express their interest to take our courses, and she will manually register them in our program. Other dioceses, such as the Diocese of Ontario, has a partnership agreement where their students don't have to pay tuition because the diocese does a regular subscription fee into our program. And as we see more of these subscription partnerships begin to work, we hope to be able to remove even more financial barriers for students. But what if the scenarios that I've shared with you don't describe you? What if you aren't part of the Council of the North and you aren't part of the Diocese of Ontario? Well, you'd be in good company because most of our students come from many other dioceses in Canada. If you find that you have financial need, we've made it one of our goals in the program to never turn anyone away. If you do have financial need, all you have to do is reach out to me as the program director, and I'll try to find creative ways to make sure that your classes are paid for and that every student can have the opportunity to cross the finish line with our convocation ceremony. So the only barrier in these courses is the degree to which you invest in yourself going forward. The motto for our program is, our vocation is to equip you to answer yours. And we really believe this. Within the LTH program in the last couple of years, we've seen more deacons ordained than any other seminary in Canada. And that brings us great joy. We also love the fact that on any given night, we can have students tuning in from coast to coast to coast. Often with our classes capped around 24 students participating in each class. Regularly, we have students representing 5 different time zones. And that's a joy to be able to share our ministry experiences, to ask the questions that we have about what our future looks like, what our passion for the Anglican Church will look like in years to come, with people that are serving and usually wearing many hats in ministry in their congregational context. The last thing that I want to share that is, I think one of the special aspects of this program is that we very much become family. Our students have come close in sharing hours and hours and hours of class time together, and we're cheering each other on regardless of where you live in Canada. My contact details will be passed to you by the Dean of Theology. And the way that I operate as program director is, if you ever have concerns or questions, you can send me an email and we'll book a Zoom meeting. And by the end of that meeting, I can guarantee that any anxieties or questions you have will be fully settled. And you'll be delighting in the fact that you're part of this family of leaders and learners across our country. Again, thank you for your interest in tuning into our LTH presentation today. Dr. Dan Smith has also been one of the instructors in our program, so he can share some of the elements of what a normal class would look like, if we can call any of our classes normal, and talk about a little bit of how the program has grown over the last few years. At the current moment, we have somewhere between 350 and 370 students in all different learning pathways, part of our classes. And we also have a partnership with the Niagara School of Missional Leadership, which expands the buffet of courses that we have to offer. So the program has been growing every year, and it's a joy to be able to enable future leaders in the church. Final word, if you're trying to find where our Huron Licentiate in Theology website is, in your either Google or Chrome or whichever search engine you use, type in Huron University Lifelong Learning, and it'll take you exactly where you need to be. Thank you again for your interest in today's presentation. I hope that there may be a chance that I might see you in class in the days ahead. Blessings, and may God be with you in your future ministry. Bye for now.